I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first business is a fence permit for Michelle Kerr. We all have the drawing, thank you. And do you know the address there?
228 West Meridian Street.
It's over here at the church.
This will basically be around the yard there.
Yes,
On this side of the church,
yeah, if you, where the marquee is now,
right?
it'll be off of that, but the biggest part of that section, we're not doing the fence on the property, we're doing it off of the neighbor's property. We're not gonna even cut close to theirs.
You know about how many feet that is from the property line?
If my husband was here, we've measured it several times because
Okay.
I have to go by the state guidelines to, as we put the, whatever playground set we decided on,
Right.
I have to have it so many feet from the fence.
Okay,
And we've already done that. I've already purchased we were donated the playground equipment. So it's about a $4,000 playground equipment, so I wanted to make sure I got it all.
put in the right place the
Yes.
first time.
Yeah. I have a couple of daycare dads that are gonna come in, as well as my husband, and put it in, so that'll save on labor costs.
Okay.
My husband works for shelving materials, so he'll be doing all the concrete.
All right.
Well, I make a motion, we approve the permit.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And like I said, I'll leave, you give the completed application to Keegan with the money and he'll have the building permit to
Okay.
give you.
You're gonna be here in the morning,
Yeah, I can't be for you.
okay, then I'll do it till Monday.
That's fine too. just-
Okay, I'll bring it in Monday then.
All right.
Thank you.
Lori, it's not on the agenda, but there is another fence permit here. I don't know if you wanted to just do it while you had
Sure,
a book out.
uh-huh.
Or there's actually two then.
Yeah.
For building in Sharpsville. Yeah, this is gonna be done by Morrow Construction
Okay,
in town.
okay. Do you have a drawing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll let them look at
Okay. Do you need
that.
this copy back?
I don't need anything else.
Okay. What we can do is make some. It's down there at your place, right?
Yeah, right across from the Kirkley place.
Right.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
take the house, same dimensions, I'm just gonna go north with it.
Existing house, and it's 5 feet. Are you extending the fence? Cause you already got a fence,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I got a privacy fence around the backyard,
Okay,
and, no, I'm gonna have to tear down some of that to put the home addition on.
okay.
But no, I'm not gonna add any fence.
Proposed addition on the house, okay.
Yeah, they
Oh,
call it.
when he first said that we had another fence permit, I thought that's what I was looking at.
There might be, but I'm not,
Okay,
Oh, you're doing a building,
Yeah.
I'm adding on to the house.
adding onto the house, okay.
There is another fence permit here too.
You talk to your neighbors and they know.
Yeah, I got all four of them signed it.
yeah.
Okay,
All of them signed
I've been
up.
there since '81.
well,
They're my neighbors. They're not gonna,
yeah,
they told me they didn't care what I built.
Okay,
that's good. I make a motion, we approve the permit.
I'll second that one.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Are you able to come back on Monday? to
Yeah.
pick up the permit?
Sure.
Okay, have you paid already?
No,
Okay,
You'll
so
see Keegan at the front office.
office on Monday.
on Monday, sure.
Uh-huh.
He'll take your Monday.
What time Monday?
I'll be in at 8. So
8 in the morning?
Yep.
That's
That's not too early.
I know
I'm
that.
getting old, man. It take me a while to crawl out of bed.
And then he'll have the permit ready for you, okay?
All right, all right, we can do that. We can do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you're here from 8 on till
8 to 4.
8?
8 to noon, 1
I'll
to
be
4.
up by then. I hope my wife will be there.
He's your Marine Corps drill sergeant now?
No, she tries real hard. We just had our 50th anniversary last
Congratulations.
month, so.
Excellent.
You want these back?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you then on Monday. Thank you.
And one more.
Have one more.
Easy.
And this one is at 208 Walnut Street.
208 East Walnut? Or West?
West Walnut.
I'm sorry. I'm on West or East Walnut.
Oh, okay.
so it confuses me.
And the name on
Did you have a drawing or anything of where you?
No, we're just doing like the back where the, I guess it was probably like the alley back there. And then alley kind of like on the side of us, even though there's grass there.
As long as you don't get into the alleyway, but, that's not what I wanted.
You're a fast drawer.
All these are being bad.
This is one of my bosses. That's my granddaughter.
I do not like all of these things. Except that one. That one's better. This one's hard to make.
Okay, search.
Okay, did you get any signatures from your neighbors?
We only really have one neighbor, and it's on the right side of us, so I can get theirs, yeah.
Okay.
It should be, it might be on the page that he has.
All right.
What I'm doing is looking at this property.
Oh, that's it.
I'll see you then, Nate. I'll drop that off. Thank you.
To see it all.
It's right on the alley, over here.
Yeah.
So you'll be out back.
It'll be on the back and then like a gate right here by the garage, yeah,
Okay, so it's gonna cover this area here.
right here. And I'm just gonna go up to onto it, because they have a fence right there on the other side.
Right, they get a chain link fence. So what type of fence you put
It's
down?
gonna be chain link biscuit flat.
Okay,
So there, and then the little part
so now you coming over to the corner of the garage?
right here. And then
Okay,
the other part of the garage just have like a gate. like-
it'll be a gate in between the house and
Yes.
garage. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you stay within the edge of the garage there,
Okay.
that way it doesn't go into the alleyway. So
I don't even know if
that
it's ever
alleyway is
even
not really used,
done.
it's not really used, but we have to keep access.
Yeah,
That's why we got the utilities.
Yeah,
So-
we
Oh,
have
okay.
utilities through there and the fire department's gotta be able to get
I
through
see it nice sometimes, it's just not parked right in the box alley.
there. Is that this guy or?
Yeah.
Okay,
And it's kind of like-
yeah, they're not supposed to park in the alley.
That's why I didn't know if it was used, if it's not.
Because as far as that goes, there's a truck sitting in the alley right there.
Yeah, that's him.
That's Jake.
Probably.
Okay,
This is looking better
anything you
than it.
need to know?
No. I'll make a motion, we approve the permit.
Okay, I second that.
All in favor? Favor? Aye. Carried.
Now, will it be the same thing? I have to
Yeah,
put it
just
in
come
there?
in. I have it written out here.
Okay,
So have you given him, have you paid for it?
No.
Okay, so come in Monday morning
okay,
and pay Keegan
okay,
and he'll hand you the permit. And it's good for 1 year.
okay, and how much is it?
For a fence, I think it's 10.
10?
Okay. All right, anytime Monday?
Yeah, 8 to noon, 1 to 4.
No, no.
You're gonna be bouncing off the wall with these all the sugar, but.
City package.
It's just my job, just to sugar them up and turn them over.
Okay, the next is Tyler and Caitlin Morgan.
We were just letting whichever one knows, we bought the Coleman property and we're cleaning it up. We've already started. We do plan on having it done, completely leveled out in the next 2 months. Probably a lot sooner than that, but
That's a lot sooner than
anyone else has ever
exactly.
done. And
I'm
Yeah.
really glad you guys got it.
so just kind of giving you guys a timeline and just letting you know.
Okay,
Plan was, it's just gonna be a plain lot for a little while and then maybe one day put up a barn or pole barn or whatever they're called, carports,
hold on.
something like that.
You got my number, don't you?
Mhm.
Because if you have any questions or need anything or anything, just give me a shout.
And we've got all the utilities marked. Duke's already taken the line off.
Yeah, I saw
Unplugged
it.
it or whatever. I don't know what they do, but
They just cut it loose and turned it off.
yeah. So we should be good as long as we don't need to do anything with the board. Do we need to like demolish the house like completely?
No,
We didn't think so, but thought we.
the only time you need to deal with us is if you go to rebuild something on there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
It'll be a long
you know
time
the
before
steps of that, so.
This
And
is
then
good.
that's zone residential.
Seeing that lot
Yeah,
empty
yeah,
is
yeah.
gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
On our watch. Thank you.
Yes, so,
Has the gas been cut off?
yeah, it was
It's been
cut
off
off in
for 10 years.
2015.
Okay.
Yeah, it got removed when Coleman was still there, so.
I'll say it's been decommissioned for 10 years.
Yeah. We called a
Well,
couple times to make sure that was accurate.
what they normally do, the gas company nowadays, if you haven't had service on for a year, they come in and remove the meter. Then a year later, they come in and cut the line loose at the road,
Yeah, they said it's cut up the road.
so.
Yeah.
Does the water need disconnected?
It's been shut off, since you're sitting there, do you know where the sewer tank is in that property, by chance?
No, I wasn't here when they done it.
Okay. I gotta look. Benji had trouble finding it. It must be buried then if we can't find it
I was thinking it'd be in the backyard. Isn't there a main down the alley?
down the alley, but I was thinking
So that's
it
what his
was,
map showed, but it's not back there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't even find a cat. for it.
it's been buried. I thought it was along the alleyway between the fire barn and that, but
So where does that line run in your alley? Does it tie into this alley? One goes up by your house?
No, ours goes,
you've got a sewer line that comes down your alley underneath that concrete.
Because you got a manhole in your cement drive.
yeah,
Yeah.
Does
I
that
don't-
tie into church?
I-
Or does that come to? Come to the alley?
I think it comes over here to the alley. But it also ties in at Church Street too. But I apologize for my sunglasses. I have my eyes dilated. I'm having trouble seeing across the room.
Yeah, I don't know which, I think there is, I couldn't think of, I'm thinking there's the manhole lid in his drive and there's also one on Church Street.
Right.
the Same alley,
Where it tees and goes across.
but I can't,
I told Benji I'd get with him to look at
Max might remember.
what maps we have.
I don't remember exactly where the septic tank is, but I think the main there ends at there underneath that concrete, I think. I don't think it goes
It
across
doesn't
Brown
come
Street.
across.
You're talking about Brown Street, right?
Right,
Across-
right.
I don't think it
I was
does.
saying his map doesn't show it.
It doesn't. It, now it
Okay.
ties in at Church Street.
Right, I know that.
But it don't.
Just come down there and dead
Goes
ends.
across.
And see, this other main comes down the alley back here.
The way,
Right,
It
yeah,
picks
Benji-
up those houses there.
the way Benji's map made it look is that it went down the alley behind that property.
Okay.
It-
And then it came off of that and went back to the alley back there between the gas station and that property. But the way the map showed it is right in the middle of the yard, right? I
In-
cleaned the
in
whole
the
entire
I
backyard.
couldn't tell you. It'd be in the
I've already
backyard
got to the whole
someplace.
backyard and
or
haven't found
whatever.
it.
Couldn't tell you where it's at.
Okay. We'll see if we can find it. Like I told him, if they get to tearing it down before we find it,
They'll find it
be
somehow.
gentle.
Yeah, I haven't found it yet, but
But he's wanting to remove that tank anyway, possibility.
Have you seen the outlet in the house? Or
I
under the house?
haven't been in the house and don't plan on going in.
I mean,
Well,
eventually.
I'm going in with
they'd
a bucket, that's it.
see- I mean, you probably gonna remove
Smells so
that tank
bad.
anyway, right?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He wants to remove the tank.
You're gonna take it clear out.
So we gotta find it and it'll have to come out and be capped off from the main. So,
Just gonna fill it up or not.
but either way, it's gotta be capped going to the main, so.
Yeah.
On the main side. So, we'll find it,
somewhere.
get over there with a probe and now that the yard's empty.
Yeah. Like you said, unless it's over on the south side, I haven't got all that cleaned up through there. There's still pieces of fence and stuff in there.
Right. I was thinking I saw the lid over there when I was utility manager, but
But other than that, I
I don't
don't know
recall.
if it's there or if it's up under
I
that
I
concrete
haven't
room.
seen any of that yard as long as you guys have, so. But we'll do it. We'll find it.
Well, I'd have to be on one side or the other of that barn.
Yeah,
And there's more space on the north side than there is the south.
Right.
And then the water goes on the south.
Yeah, the water's on the south.
on the south side. Yeah, it's,
So I would think it probably.
we know where that's at, right? Cause Benji said he
He
found
has
it.
an idea. He doesn't know. He thinks it's
Okay.
buried under some dirt, but
I know it's right off the back corner of the house.
he said it's over by the edge where that sidewalk comes out.
Yeah. But I told him when he found it to stick a cover on it.
Yeah, he has. I don't think he found it yet.
Okay.
It was still covered in a bunch of junk.
We'll get it found. I know he's dealing with the lift station tonight, so.
Okay, the next item then is the second reading of our animal ordinance.
Okay. Let's pull that up. And we've been over before that you don't need to read it word for word, you have to change the gist of it, which is, it's an addition actually to the animal ordinance because it covers livestock, which currently is prohibited, and that includes poultry. And the amendment or new livestock amendment to the animal ordinance requires annual permitting so that the neighbors with a border on the property where the livestock, including poultry, will be contained, must all approve the type and number of livestock that's being contained there. And after that approval in writing is gotten from bordering property owners, all of them, we presume there'll be 4, but there might be more or fewer than 4. Then an application and a $50 application, annual application fee will be submitted to Keegan, to the town clerk, and the town council can approve a variance from the general longstanding prohibition on livestock within the city limits of Sharpsville. So to summarize what it says, there's an annual $50 fee if you want to keep, I think chickens was really, maybe goats were the two types of animals at issue. And both of those count as livestock was the first thing that the ordinance clarifies, as almost always hooved animals do. But chickens do as well, and poultry. So ducks. Is it ducks or chickens we were concerned about? Maybe
I think
chicken.
turkeys.
Turkey.
So that would cover, everything from ornamental goats to keeping geese or something like that. $50 annual fee, bordering property owners' approval as part of the $50 application process. And even then, it's the discretion of the town board as to whether the variance is granted for a period of 1 year. And that, my friends, is the new animal ordinance, but really livestock amendment to the animal
Do we take a vote?
ordinance. And,
Motion
yes,
waived.
and, right, and, as board member Ruth was pointing out, the reason we are having a second vote is to waive the second reading. It really would have to be unanimous, and we didn't have Steve. So Mr. McNally's rejoined us.
I
So, yeah.
apologize.
And that was definitely what we call an excused absence. So, so we can pass it today by unanimous, although this is really the second reading, board vote.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to pass the livestock amendment.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, passed.
Felix,
Okay.
could I get a copy of that too?
Yes, absolutely.
Try as well.
And,
We all needed it.
yeah, I think
To add to our book.
Right, exactly. And so I've got it here, but didn't we print it last time somehow? Did I email it to you? Is that how you?
I think so.
Let me email it to you again. Okay, so I'll send it to you right now because it was sent, but I'm trying to see the date of this email. So yeah, this was in January. So it won't be the top of your email, so I'm gonna send it right now, so it will be. All right. And then we can print it as many times as we need.
Okay, and then we'll be ready for Marshall Shepherd's report.
Alrighty. You guys have it in front of you, the activity report for February. It's attached. As far as ordinance updates, the only real change to this is the difference with the Morgans are doing with the South Brown. 126 and 122 remain the same that they've been for years at this point. I've started going around. There's a total of 14 properties in town that are in violation of ordinances. They're going to receive a courtesy letter that'll go out the 15th. It'll be a 60-day courtesy letter. All that is basically saying you have until then to remedy the situation. At the 60-day mark, I'm going to then write a citation for them to come before you guys and then to make that decision there. As far as
Right, 14 of those?
there's a total of 14 properties are in violation,
Yes, sir. All right.
and it's not even a spring yet, so there'll be 20 by the time we get to it with the mowing and weeds. The departmental update, just the only big thing I had was the older charger had to get some work done. It came out of my budget, so there was no additional there. I think it was in the ballpark of $1,600. There's been an invoice issue, so we haven't gotten that yet. The new body cameras, they were received and put into service. There's a few things that I forgot to put on there, so I've scribbled them down. Just as a reminder, we started issuing golf cart permits, $5 beginning this year because the price was waived last year. All the information has been put in both police cars, so any of the officers can do that. Also, beginning this year, we're going to start doing the dog tax ordinance again, as far as trying to keep tabs on what animals are what, because we've had a lot of loose dogs in the last couple of years. And it's kind of one of those things that had fallen behind. I'm going to start doing that effective April 1st. The only reason we're waiting on that is because I have to order the tags. This year, they'll be red tags. So you'll know a dog's tag if they have a red tag on their collar. Outside of that, IT update, I spent the first hour here trying to get the computer online. Last month, we had an issue. I think it was only first 26 minutes, Keegan? And then it stopped recording and stopped streaming for some reason. I cannot speak to why it happened. I think I have possibly fixed it because it hasn't stopped as of yet.
Did it have something to do with the internet back here?
It could have been. That has been fixed.
Okay.
So I came in and did that this afternoon. And so the internet to the back office is now fixed as well.
Okay, cool.
There is going to be one change that I have to do. The microphone system, the recording devices in front of you guys are no longer working and they're out of warranty. So I'm going to have to replace those. It'll be probably less than $100. It won't be anything major. So I'll have to do that. And then there's two other things. Being that it's coming to springtime, I talked to Benji earlier and I meant to ask him about it. Can we make a priority this year of lining, especially, I know Church Street has been lined in parts before, but I have had an uptick in people passing and it's extremely dangerous to pass in town anyway. But when they're on Church Street, passing at 30, 35 miles an hour and kids can pop out. So I would just encourage doing the double lines on Church Street, the same as Meridian, and those will need redone too. So I didn't know. I just wanted to put that out there as a thought. And then animal ordinance as far as the one you guys just passed. The one question that I would have related to that is they're gonna seek and get the permit through Keegan, through the clerk's office, right? So when they do that, I'm not gonna get involved in it until it reaches a point of they're in violation. Okay, just for clarification, myself. That's all I wanted to know, and I think that is all I have.
I want to ask one thing. We were recently audited by the state, as you know, and we're lacking capital asset inventory. Do you have such a document?
I
in
have-
your department.
I have inventory, yes.
Okay, if Keegan can get a copy of that?
Yeah, I can get him a copy.
Okay, great. I figured you had it.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I did it. Bernice used to have to, Bernice as well as Katie. And I don't know if I've got, probably not. But we did a yearly audit, so an inventory audit. But yeah, I can get you one.
We will need that as well, you guys, for all of the buildings, and its contents.
Okay.
They indicated, and for the streets, roads, utilities, it's all gotta be listed out.
Right.
All the equipment, yeah, so that's something that we three are gonna need to work on, to make sure that we have, and he'll keep it on file in his office.
Lori, there should be a number, required number amount. If it's over $500, we have to record it.
They didn't discuss that with us, but we could.
I thought she
research it.
said that towns had their own system for that, saying if something was an asset or not. I think it was like your town would set what that number was.
I know, for instance, I believe the county's is $5,000, but we don't have a lot of equipment that's going to be over
We don't have a
5,000.
ton of stuff.
I would say if the board's going to set it, I would set it at $500. And that would cover the major assets, vehicles, cars, computers, vehicles, computers, equipment. That'd just be my recommendation.
Okay, then, Benji is absent.
Yeah, I can briefly hit this, truck mileage, of course, and, had 5 locates. He sent the monthly back tees. Water usage was at, looks like 62 million. For some reason, that seems high, but, he sent the MROs and the two IDM. Sewage pumped, lift A, B, and C, gym, nothing to report, park, nothing to report. Town, the north side lift station has been completed. We will be getting the phone connected to both the main lift stations and the
part
north
of
lift
it,
station.
yeah.
He's out on the lift station right now for out at school. We lost power out there for some reason. We started painting the inside of the gym. We are scraping the walls, filling in the cracks with concrete repair, and sealing the block windows. We had a 2-inch main on South Washington Street that was leaking at the fitting that was repaired. April 24th will be the spring cleanup this year. We will be starting brush pickup on March the 17th.
And, I wanted to bring to your attention, you both may know about it, but apparently the wrestlers cut into the sheetrock wall that is up on the stage.
Oh, it's not sheetrock, it's plywood.
Plywood,
Yeah.
okay, so, there is concerns that could collapse that wall. So Benji's aware of it, he would like to fix it and pass that cost to the wrestlers.
Yeah.
I doubt we got a certificate of insurance, but had we, that would protect us for any damages that they cause, there, so,
I looked at it too one
It's-
time down there. The structure of the wall that was built there, it didn't change the integrity of it.
okay.
But the plywood on the outside, it had a hole cut in it. I don't know why they did that.
They don't wanna have to duck when they come out. They wanna be able to stand at their full height when they come through that wall.
I know
They didn't
we-
wanna
we-
have to duck,
We put an access, we had put an access in there
yes,
to pass to take tables and chairs through there instead of carrying them up and
And
around
they
years
needed it
ago.
taller.
So
They
I'll
took
get
it,
with Benji, and if we still make that access in there to do tables and stuff, we'll just make it a little taller instead of.
They
Yeah,
just-
because I think they did that without asking, they just
Did it?
did it.
that's a misdemeanor.
Well,
Just throw that out there.
true that.
And that, I think you guys know that Tri-Central lift station has calmed down twice now in the recent.
Well, keep switching to battery backup and the battery goes down. My question is, why are we losing power out there? Duke Energy said that power's out there. So between the meter itself and the panel, we're losing power somewhere. And we've got a guy out there right now checking all that.
And interestingly enough, or not, it is Craig Russell, the ex-employee, that texts me every time he sees that.
Yeah.
So he's bringing it to our attention in lieu of Benji finding it.
Right.
So I don't know, does Benji need to be out there once a week?
Benji goes out there
We have a
once a
policy.
day to read the, numbers.
Okay,
So, but if it goes down, if it's running on battery power when he gets out there, there's really no way of saying that he's on battery power. He just basically reads the numbers each day, and that's usually done first thing in the morning.
okay.
And then by evening, it's overflowing, and with ball season, we don't need that. We don't need that anytime, but.
Okay, then, we're to the town attorney comments.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so dovetailing with what Lori said about the audit, I got a similar letter just saying we need to know if the town of Sharpsville owes you any money for legal fees or has any pending litigation where they might owe some money to somebody who's suing the town. And I just shot an email back, no charge to Sharpsville as far as legal billing. Said, nope, sure isn't. They don't owe me anything, no pending lawsuits. There are some lawsuits where we're the plaintiff as far as ordinance enforcement, things like that. Although I think really they're all resolved. I don't even think there are any. And they said, no, we don't care about ones where you're the plaintiff. We care about ones where you might incur some losses, might incur some liability. I said, okay, there aren't any. And they said, well, thanks for the email, but we need a little more detailed letter. So already having said no charge for this, I had to whip out a letter from one of the larger cities I represent, plagiarize it and turn it into a Sharpsville letter that said basically the same thing. No pending potential liabilities, and they don't owe me any money from the town of Sharpsville to me. And I got an email back from the State Board of Accounts saying, thanks. So I guess we're okay on the audit. Great job by the board and just and the clerk and Ray, just really good job getting that property with the burned out home on it sold. Just played it the right way, and not filing a lawsuit, trying to determine who the owner was, just waiting for it to play out. I think it turned out perfectly. The only question I have for the board is, wasn't there some interest in buying that property as a parking lot by the fire department or something?
Yes, there was.
Yes, they were interested in it, but,
Well, this is better, I think.
they got on it faster.
Yeah.
They would first come, first served. They made the offer.
Yep.
And they got it. So,
So the only downside is Township Fire Department, I guess that's who it was, people in the fire barn.
Mhm.
yeah, that's the township fire department.
And they don't get it, but gosh, did we ever do that right as
Yeah.
opposed to investing a bunch of money in litigation where our best hope would be to get this result. So that's from $0,
And it-
that's the best you can do.
They've already started on the cleanup and
Maybe they'll sell it.
what's that?
Maybe they'll sell
They
it.
very well might.
Well, they could. I mean, they were talking about eventually putting a pole barn on it, but, that's up to them if they decide to sell it.
It just has to be residential use.
Yeah.
Parking lot.
So far, our
They do it
legal
at the
bills
time.
have been $0 this month because the audit thing, I just plagiarized the larger cities.
Right.
Or after I tried to do it really cheaply with an email. Apparently that was not the way to do it. But the State Board of Accounts is satisfied. And for an additional $0, adding on to the first $0, we very well may have probably the biggest eyesore in town cleaned up, so that's nice. Now that dovetails or segues nicely into the deed of the fire barn to, I guess, from the city, from the town of Sharpsville to the fire department. Again, y'all don't want to pay me to come up here and file it, so I give it to Mark Renee, and I have not heard back from him whether he has gotten that filed. I did hear that the Tipton County Recorder had some questions about the legal description, because I think they're actually 4 parcels,
Yeah, the
3
four-
parcels. I think it's 4, isn't it?
I thought there was 2, but there ended up being
Yeah,
4.
but all 4 are legally described right down to the parcel number. That's how I know there are 4 parcels.
Right.
And so I'm not sure what the recorder's initial problem with that was, but Mark assured me that, for minimal cost, he can work that out. And I haven't heard anything. And on the way in today, I did text him and said, hey, is that deed filed now? Is the record owner no longer the town, but in fact, the fire department? I haven't heard back, but we need to, in the next month, make sure that actually got done. And so far, we've incurred $0 on that as well, but there'll be a filing fee, $25 or something, that's fine. What else do we have? Oh, okay. On Cheese Factory, we've got a footprint for a non-rental, but rather duplex or condominium. I think it's really more aptly described as condos, because even if it's a duplex, you're not renting either half of it, you're selling it. So it's condos. So we've got a footprint for that, and theoretically, for $0 again, Steve Ray at the North Central Indiana Redevelopment Committee can get us a free soil management plan, which then will cause IDEM to sign off on anything we put on that property with that footprint. And so I'm gonna do that this month, because I figured no matter what we do with that property, and no matter with whom we do it, who our developer is, local, low bid, whatever, we want that footprint, and we're gonna insist on that footprint, because that's the only one IDEM is gonna give us permission to develop that property with.
Okay.
So I think we can move at least that far. And of course, what we all need to think about while I'm doing that in the next month is we're gonna get our own redevelopment commission that costs $15,000. Are we gonna try to roll that into the cost of this project? Are we maybe gonna try to get the Tipton County Redevelopment Commission to help us instead of forming our own? Or, theoretically, as long as we open it to bidding, we can sell that lot. We don't have to make the deal sweeter for a developer with a tax abatement, which is what redevelopment gives you the power to do, control over your own property taxes. We could just sell the lot, but then we really have to open it to bidding.
Right.
And whoever buys it has to do that project, because any other project is not approved by IDEM. So it has to be that footprint, that project. But, see, I know Brian Snyder would do it, because that's who I got the footprint from, but somebody local may do it.
Well,
And God bless them if they do,
Yes.
right? If they say, hey, Brian Snyder wants you to donate the property, I'll buy the property for, let's say, $15,000, the cost of your redevelopment commission.
yeah. Or,
Well, if somebody local does that, good.
or
win.
could we even, if we donate the property or give the property to somebody to build that, with the understanding that when it was sold, then we received the 15,000.
Oh, yes, yeah,
Could
you
we
can
do
do
it
it,
that way? That way it's
absolutely.
nothing out of pocket for them initially. And that would invite a little bit more interest maybe. But once they
Yes.
sold it, then,
Yeah, and that's not evading I see what you're asking, it's a great question. Hey, couldn't we do that without a redevelopment commission?
Right.
And I think the answer is yes, because you're not doing anything with property tax.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So,
but I know our big goal is to get the,
right, we'd like to get a free redevelopment commission if we could,
Right.
because then we go
Exactly.
on a rampage and we start annexing. Maybe we get a sewage treatment plant, there are lots of things you can do with your own redevelopment commission that you control. And the Tipton County Redevelopment Commission, I mean, there's a reason that there's a Madison County Redevelopment Commission, and we in Elwood don't work with it. There's a reason for that. And, that reason applies here too. But we'd really like not to pay $15,000 to form the redevelopment commission. We'd like to pay $0.
Exactly.
And so I think what I'll do is, as soon as we get that footprint approved and item says, all right, we told you cannot develop that property, but if you do this footprint, you can. As soon as that happens, then I think I'm really gonna come before this board and say, all right, here are our options. Pay $15,000 and try to get it back. Don't have a redevelopment commission at all. Just sell the property to the highest bidder if they'll do this project. No property tax abatement involved, but whoever buys it needs to keep in mind the only thing they can do is this project.
Right.
And we don't have to decide that tonight, but we probably need to start thinking about it. And I guess, if you want my opinion on it, what Tom Pittman said is, hey, no town that he's ever heard of, and certainly none he's represented, regrets having its own redevelopment commission. It's like states that pass legalization of marijuana, right? I mean, no state has ever gone back and said, hey, we're gonna make marijuana illegal again. That doesn't happen.
Right.
And it's because they're rolling in dough. And kind of the same thing here. I think the reason that Tom Pittman can't think of any community that regrets having its own redevelopment commission is because every single one of them has gotten repaid that $15,000 cost.
Right.
But, if you really pin him down and say, well, Tom, will you guarantee we'll get repaid that? He won't, so pay your money and take your chances. But if you just want my advice, as soon as we get this footprint approved, we probably should decide what are we going to do with that property. And my advice, my recommendation would be turn it into a redevelopment commission of our own and see if we can't then really go great guns and keep local schools open and things like that. So, that's all I have.
And I have one absolute, they'll serve on the RDC.
Oh, really?
2
Excellent.
probables, and I'm waiting to hear from the school superintendent on someone whom he would nominate.
Wonderful.
We missed their February meeting. He called me, so he was clear that it's not him that is expected to be on it, but one of the elected board members. Is that correct?
That is correct. And so you've already made good progress on that, which I like to hear because I know it's a gamble and $15,000 is a lot of money. But I have a feeling the reason there's no community out there that regrets having its own redevelopment commission is they've all got paid back. That's why they don't regret it. But I have to admit, if you really pin down Tom Pittman and say, all right, well, can you put in your fee agreement, you guarantee we'll get our money back. He won't do that.
Right.
So, and I've worked with a lot, obviously, in Anderson and in Elwood, and LaPel and Pendleton redevelopment commissions, but I've never had a community that didn't already have one. And so I can't really sit here either and say, oh yeah, you always get paid back. Because I don't know, did they get paid back? I know they're glad they have it.
Right.
And redevelopment commission gets every penny of increase in the property taxes. So, right now, the cheese factory is a good example, is paying $0. If there was something on there that was worth $1 million, they'd be paying 2% a year, $20,000 a year. And that money goes to the redevelopment commission. And, pretty soon at the rate of $20,000 a year, you've got $200,000. So, but, it's possible that you throw up a nice little development on the cheese factory property and it doesn't go up in value at all. I mean, maybe, but, at least in Tom's experience, that never happens. So good work. But there's a redevelopment commission board and you gotta have members and so we've already got one firm commit. That's good. Great.
Okay, then, council comments?
I don't know what their plans are for the 4th of July. I know they were planning on moving some things because of Kokomo and the competition there, because the 4th is on Saturday this year, I believe. But Haynes Apperson Festival has moved to 2 weekends previous to the 4th of July because the ride company that they use is already booked for the 4th of July. So there would be no competition from Kokomo. They are gonna have a home Creek Chubs game that night with fireworks after, but I don't know how large the display will be.
Right.
But Creek Chubs are the baseball team.
Oh,
You
so
that
Jack Rabbit's in.
yeah. So, I don't know if we need to communicate that to them or not, to see if they wanna do fireworks on the 4th and go ahead and have a festival, or
I'll reach out to Zach,
maybe move it to the,
find out what we need.
but,
So-
yeah,
2 weekends prior to the 4th,
yeah.
and the 4th is, so basically.
Well, you know,
Fall between.
well, they could do it the 4th.
Right.
I mean, you know, how many people are gonna go see a baseball game? I mean, but, you know, if they
I'll
promote
reach
it
out.
well enough.
I'll reach out to Zach and see what his plans are.
But I had heard that they were gonna try to do it earlier this year, but,
They were gonna do it a week prior to the 4th, Saturday.
and that could still work for them. You know, because Haynes Apperson will be 2 weeks before, so
I
there
think the
won't
same guy that
there won't
does,
be a competition there.
I think the same guy that does the tipping fireworks did this Sharpsville.
Yeah. And I would assume Tipton will do theirs on the 4th. That's an assumption, I don't know, but.
I haven't been able to find anything out yet, but I guess Windfall gotten $750,000
Yeah, great.
in a grant. Was that part of that, financial study that we kind of missed out on?
I
No, no.
don't remember.
Ray saying
I
no, so.
don't know.
It wasn't. It was something.
It
It was
wasn't
separate.
part of the ready deal.
No, I
Okay.
talked to.
I thought maybe
Scott
that
about
was some of the money that
Well,
we missed out on that because of the
Well, we just-
miscommunication.
we missed out. I mean, if you wanna get technical about it, we missed out because they told us to start getting the income survey too quickly.
Cause I had
So
the, I had all the
I put
paperwork.
the onus on them. I mean, they were going, oh gosh, you gotta do this, you know, but it was cold, it was, you know.
Well, the first time
Yeah,
warm
no,
out,
we were-
I had-
we were-
I had
we
all the
were
paperwork
almost set,
rolled on it, but
couldn't use it because,
we had to give it up and try again. And
so, well, maybe we can try again, so we can get some
yeah,
funding for, you know,
a little bit.
some sort of repairs here in town, so.
Are
which
we
are
to,
needed.
are we to open discussion?
Just what, I wanted to just ask Rob a question and him, do you know, Felix, who sets the audit rates? The state came and audited us and told us what our bills were. Do you know who sets those rates? Is it
Well,
State Board of Accounts or?
well, the short answer is, yeah, it's probably the state board of accounts, yes, ma'am. But when you say rates, what are they? They're just auditing us to determine our financial situation. Are they charging us some money? What are they charging us?
I think she said it was like $20,000, but it was like half of it, most of it's taken out of property taxes.
$31,000.
Oh, yeah,
Was that for the audit itself?
I
Or was
believe
that,
so.
Okay,
was
so,
that any fines?
No,
I don't think they were fine.
there was
Okay.
nothing really wrong.
they're just charging
But
us
they're
for the
charging
audit.
us for their time, I'm sure their mileage, their employees coming up here and spending, what, 2 weeks?
Oh, it was longer than that.
Yes, so it's,
Like 4 months.
and 50% of that 31,000 comes out of what they'll give us of our tax revenue. They take it out automatic, and then
It was 20,000 of them was coming out of property tax.
Yes,
And the other two we had to pay out of the utilities.
the utilities, 50 and 50, so like 6,000 out of the water and 5,200 out of the waste.
And what they're charging us for, when you say who sets the audit rates, you mean who sets what the audit costs that we have to
Yes,
pay for?
yes.
Yeah, and the answer to that, the short answer is State Board of Accounts, but the much longer answer to what's a good question is, yeah, but how do they set it? I mean, can they
Well,
charge us
it's-
$1 million if they just feel like it?
Well, it's interesting that, it's required by the state.
Yep.
The state people do it,
Which means
And the
we're
state
required to pay
people-
for it.
set the rate, so it's like,
Yeah, it's kind of what we call an unfunded mandate, where they say, you have to have an audit, and we're gonna tell you what we're gonna charge you for that audit that you have to have.
and do you know, maybe Keegan, you heard how often will we be audited?
That one, they said for smaller towns like us, it's like every 4 years.
Okay,
Yeah, because it used to be every year, and, I think 5, 6 years ago, they went to, staggered system because it was just too onerous for them to try to get to all 2,000 taxing units and
well, if we're still around in 4 years, it should be a budget item,
Oh, yeah.
so that we're prepared for it.
Well, I don't know, if you don't ever get the money, I don't know, would you need a budget for it?
Well, you have to write a paper check for our part, almost, 11 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I have here in my notes. The utility portion, Keegan writes a check, so at least that we would need to budget for, wouldn't we?
Well, I didn't think we really budgeted utilities, did we?
No. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it's just its own revenue.
but we have to know that some of it would be encumbered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then,
But that's a great question, and here's your answer. How do they determine what it costs? And Indiana Code 5-11-4-3 requires any audited municipality, that's us, it even says, including cities and towns, to pay the expenses of examination and investigation performed by the State Board of Accounts. So again, that's a little bit of nepotism because they get to decide what their expenses of particularly the investigation is, because they get to decide how much we investigate. So I guess two things. One, they're supposed to be reimbursing expense and examination expense and investigation expense. So they're not making a profit, allegedly. But number two, they get to decide how extensive the investigation, quote unquote, is. And I don't see anything in the statute here that is pulled up that says, hey, the investigation for a town of under 1,000 people can't be more than 50 hours or anything like that. No limit. They can investigate as much as they see fit. So yeah, great question.
okay, and then, Rob, I don't want to put you on the spot, but would an RDC help us if that SB whatever law, if that became a law where they wanted to do away with the small towns and the townships?
that SB1 is consolidating schools,
Mm-hmm.
also reducing property taxes. The township thing is an entirely different bill, and the town bill was not even looked at last year, and they didn't even bring it up this year.
Okay.
So, but still, it's in the back of somebody's mind.
Yeah. Or it wouldn't have been there in the first
And
place.
I watched one of the political shows on PBS
On Friday
a
nights.
few weeks ago, and Ann Delaney comes on and says we need to have fewer taxing units. So, and they're gonna consolidate townships with the law that they passed this year, I think. So, we'll just have to see, but
Well, if we would want to position ourselves, I knew one of the things is that they're gonna look at is, do we have a fire department? Which we do, Winfall does, but last month at the Tipton County Commissioners meeting, the comment was made that Kempton doesn't
Kipton's got, that
They have
Prairie Township.
They
Fire
have
Department.
fire department, or is it us that goes over there?
No, that's Station 30 over there, Station 40 here.
Okay.
We have one of the largest areas because we're in two townships. We're in Taylor or Liberty Township, and we also go to the northern side of Prairie.
Okay,
So,
But the township don't own their fire department, they used to.
No, Jefferson's on a contract. Yeah.
Oh,
See, they contracted Jefferson Township.
on
Kempton does, right?
Kipton's,
Am I correct?
okay.
Yes, you're
So
right.
they don't have a township.
They're a
fire
private. They're
department.
technically a private company.
Okay. They always have it.
The conversation was probably about Prairie. Prairie's the one that does not have a fire department, technically.
and that's a detriment, so we at least have that.
Wow, and one of the, if I remember correctly, one of the bills was going to take away fire protection areas for whatever reason. I don't see the reason behind that.
Well, and I can't imagine the insurance industry would allow that because that's what they base your property rates on.
Yeah.
We're a protection class 9, so we would pay more because we're volunteer. So, but yeah, that was, okay. And that's all I had then. So once we approve and sign minutes and sign claims, did you have anything else?
Any other
Open
Oh,
discussion.
open discussion.
I got a couple of questions. I need to stand up there.
Yeah, so you can get on camera.
Oh,
We'll be on TV, don't
I
we?
say, well, one of the questions about the animal ordinance, I think Keegan's responsible for having the applications up there, so you don't get the applications. And Ray wasn't supposed to get involved until they
No, it's a
violation.
violation.
But what about the people that's already got the animals? I mean, they're already in violation, basically.
Yeah,
So does he need to take them paperwork, and say, hey, you gotta, I mean, somebody needs to get this ball started.
Either that or we need to send the ordinance out.
send
every
out
month.
well, that,
Yeah, whatever.
I understand the
They're in violation right
violation.
now.
We need to send out something to the ones that are already
They're in
in
violation.
violation, saying that this is, and with a copy of the new ordinance, this is what can be enforced, this is what you need to do to keep your critters.
So if not, it's just gonna sit there. You know,
Right.
not gonna-
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask about that, so that's gonna.
Yeah, we'll
happen soon.
send it out or hand deliver it, whichever works
And
best.
just one, does anybody else complain about it smelling the water?
Yeah, someone else brought that back up to me today. I didn't know.
I brought it
We've been
up
having.
to
quite a lot.
Benji. I smell it mostly in the shower.
Well,
Right
I
at the
do
water.
too, but every once in a while, because I run buckets of water out the hard water faucet outside, which comes right from the main. Because I wondered for a while, well, it's something, water softener or something, you know? But I can get it right off in the hard water from a bucket in the main, water birds and stuff. And I can smell it from the hard water too, so something.
Yeah,
And it's not all the time, but it's sometimes it's worse than others.
right. And I've mentioned it to Benji and he's got, what's the Richville guy's name?
Craig Thompson?
Craig Thompson, there you go. He's supposed to be coming over too and double checking all the settings and everything. You know,
Something's going on.
Yeah. I brought it up to Benji Monday, I think it was.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Well, and I've had summers plumbing out because my bathroom sinks totally stopped running water. And my kitchen sprayer will not shut off. And both of the things was because our water corroded
Yeah,
the parts. And like I had the same sprayer for 30 years
Really?
and it didn't do that. But now all of a sudden,
It has now.
it has now. So something
That's why you
needs
used to
to
always
be
tell
checked.
people, well, it's never done that before. Well, it has
It has
now.
now.
yeah.
It's done it now. So,
Well,
well, we got hard, yeah, with softener.
No, I
So
need
you
some.
got, the hard water's iron, you know, it's well water.
It's well water.
well, and, you know, we need, that was one thing we were getting the income survey on, was we were gonna redo the water. But you may as well do that before you do any more street paving or anything like that.
Yeah, because we're gonna
Because you're gonna be
tear it
cutting out
out.
the streets.
Yeah, because one of the having trouble remembering the terms. To upgrade the water system. And IDM requires the pipe that's in the ground to be taken out. They can't just leave it and cut the side of it or anything. So, which actually works out too,
Or
because,
maybe replace them.
yeah, so the new water lines could go right into where the old lines were already bedded down. But it's gonna tear up every road in town to do it. A lot of our water lines have been here since what, the 30s?
40, early 40,
Early
42,
40s.
I think, isn't it? When the system, 42 or 44 is when the systems.
I don't remember, I wasn't here then, but.
Well, I wasn't either. Almost.
But that was one of the things the infrastructure grant is one of the big things that I was looking at, was going in and doing the infrastructure on the water system here. And at the same time, if we had the money, if we got the grant money, was update our treatment system. So, which would also require Benji to get a higher license too.
So they have softener systems and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff to treat water.
The only thing, sorry, I got two things I need to poke on. Can we get like a 90-day, 60-day grace period before we have to go into enforcement with the animals? The reason I say this is because
Yes.
that same aspect where people got to come up and do it, and that's a significantly higher fee than others. Obviously, law's law, I know that, but then if we wanted to say, some informal 60 to 90-day agreement, by June 1st, they have to be, I don't know, something like that. That would take.
Short answer is absolutely.
Yes.
Legally, you can do that. You don't have to enforce it ever. We were discussing.
Right. So I get, it can be an informal thing, but are you comfortable as the board with saying, and no enforcement action will take place until June 1st?
Yes.
After June 1st, they'll receive a citation for not having a.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'll work with Keegan to get a letter sent out to everybody,
Thank you.
because I'm going to include the golf cart dog tax information in it, because it's been a while and to do that. The second thing I wanted to say was, when was the last time we got a matching NDOT grant for roads?
That would have been
Walnuts.
right after I left, I think was Walnut Street under, part of that under, but I know Church Street was.
Yeah.
My
And I
que-
was setting that up when I left.
my question
The
is,
paving was done after I left.
my question is, that money's always there. Now, I know there was a little pushback a couple years ago, but they've since got that fixed. But why aren't we doing that yearly? Where we're going after grant, even if it's 2 blocks or if it's a block, stretch of road, fixing it, because our roads are horrible.
Yes.
And I mean, if you don't believe me, right around the Charger, because it'll beat the heck out of it. So I just didn't know, wanted to put that out there, and I hate that Benji's not here. I'd have brought it up to him.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I wanted to just mention, as I've been with Lori in those RDC meetings and things like that, because I know a little bit. My only advice to you guys as the board was, the money that we bring in is ours. Contracting with the county is great, the resources, but I also know that even if we develop our own RDC, the county will be walking alongside us, because they want the income, they want additional population to county revenue. The other thing that I'll touch on is, as Felix has said before, we can go 3 miles from corporation limits. So the development that will happen that's outside of town. We don't have to be in a rush to annex that stuff. If we had an RDC to bring in that money, the RDC funds you can use for a lot more things than you can. I say that just as I know this as an example, you can buy police cars, police equipment out of it. You can buy fire trucks. You can buy all kinds of
Now we know
stuff.
what you-
No, it's not that at
I'm
all.
just joking.
But it's the simple fact of $15,000 investment is going to have tenfold, because we know, out of conversations that you and I have been in, there's multiple big developments looking. I obviously encourage the town to annex our surrounding areas, people that use us anyway. But that's just my own thought.
Yeah, and I went to the meeting on their maps for zoning, et cetera, which the county council approved last week, I think. There's a lot of pushback from a few in agriculture to keep everything that's agricultural now agriculture, and you're not gonna be able to.
It's not gonna happen.
But, it's, there are ways around it, but, most of the county was zoned agricultural in the new maps. So I'm assuming you'll take it on a case-by-case basis.
The biggest thing that everything that you were just talking about with infrastructure and things like that, RDC can use. Obviously, you have to build it to have people come and develop, and you don't want idiocy developing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying homes. We want to be a bedroom community. We need to build some bedrooms.
Yeah.
And the RDC money would help us build infrastructure and improve water and all the stuff that you're talking about.
And like you said,
Again, these are opinions of myself, not myself as the marshal.
agriculture land and stuff, all the areas that I locate during the day, down Cicero, Sheridan, that area, they're growing, they're out in agriculture area, and they're getting the rezoning to build these homes.
Yep.
So,
And
and eventually it'll get here.
the biggest thing is look at the town of Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're huge, that huge expansion that they did.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to do something.
Okay, so I would take a motion then to adjourn, once we sign and approve the minutes and the claims.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Oh.
Meeting adjourned.